So good afternoon. So again, I am Coach Sabrina. I am a full-time coach, endurance coach. I am also a remote bookkeeper. I have three children. The youngest two, 19 and 3, still live in the house with me. And I have a 4-year-old black lab who are all in the house right now. And so I was able to pivot last minute and change rooms so that hopefully you won't hear them all. But please let me know if you can hear me. I see Coach Ralph, Boo Boo's mama. Please let me know if you can hear me, if the audio is okay. Val should be joining us soon. Instagram is just being really weird. And so let's get her in here. But while we're waiting, happy Women's History Month. Happy Black History Month again, because we're just going to keep it going. And for me, my family is celebrating Black History Month and my uncle's 40th anniversary of being a teacher this weekend in Oakland. So I will be out there celebrating that. So we're just going to keep everything going. Thank you for letting me know you can hear me. So we are going to be talking to Val if Instagram lets me do this. So Val is somebody who I met through our Too Legit Monday evening accountability calls, and I had got to become her friend, and then I had the honor of being her accountability coach leading into the Every Woman's Marathon last year. So as most coaches do, after we're done, coaching, we ask for testimonials, and it never quite worked out the timing to get a testimonial from Val, but we were talking about ideas and for me to talk about going live, and she volunteered to jump on here with me, and she's going to talk to you a little bit about being an athlete and being coached by me and some of the things that we have in common. And I really wanted her to be on for when I say this so that we don't repeat ourselves, but Instagram is being weird, so we may have to pivot and not do this live. But for me, I coach dedicated, successful women who are looking to control the overwhelm of their lives with endurance sports. I coach curvy women of color. I am in my 40s. I am a master's athlete. As I said, I have multiple children, and I became a runner after I was already a mother. So that is generally where my athletes reach, because they're people that can connect with me, right? So one of the things that I don't say I want to warn you of, but I like to tell people is, yes, I say I'm a curvy athlete. I also say that I'm a fat athlete because I have no problems with the word fat. And again, this is something that I developed over time thanks to Jill Angie of Not Your Average Runner, because when I first started listening to her podcast, I was not in my 40s yet, and her tagline was that she was a coach for fat athletes over 40. And I kept listening to her and kept listening to her. And fat is not an insult for most of us. It's just a descriptor. Just like I have brown eyes and I have more freckles than you will ever count in one setting. It's just a descriptor, and it doesn't bother me. I prefer fat or curvy over plus size because I don't understand what plus means. I am a size. Why am I plus size? Who gets to decide that I'm plus size? So when I talk a lot, I turn off comedy, turn off request to go live, turn off questions. Um, Val, go out and come back in. Maybe because it gave me the option to add you as a moderator before it gave me the option to add you. It did it separately. Go out from the live and then come back in and re-request to join, and we'll see if that works. So again, it doesn't bother me when somebody calls me a fat athlete. It doesn't bother me when somebody talks about me being a curvy athlete or a woman of color, because these are just pieces of who I am. But as a coach and as an athlete, they really do kind of influence the ways that I show up in certain spaces, and they influence the way other people interact with me in certain spaces. So that's one of the things that Val and I were going to talk to you guys about, because I started running, if I do the math, late 20s into my beginning of my 30s, right? And I am a run walker. And at the time, I didn't know what run walk was, and I didn't know that run walk run was a thing. And I heard about it because of Jill Angie, and it became more popularized because of Jeff Galloway, who recently passed away. And I wasn't sure if I was emotionally ready to start talking about that yet. So it's one of the reasons we decided to schedule this live. It says you're making me a moderator. Yeah, but if you go out, so stop watching and then come back in, hopefully you won't be the moderator anymore. I don't know why it's doing that. La, la, la. So if you saw the post yesterday and you knew this live was coming and you have questions, please start putting those questions into the chat. I have, let's see, I have, yes, this will definitely be posted after. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, send them to me. Drop them in the chat real quick before you go so I can make sure we talk about them. I have a couple of questions I want to make sure Val and I talk about, but I'm sure other things will come up. So this will definitely be posted after, especially if we have to go out and start over because IG doesn't want me to let Val come on. So, we're learning as we go. Thanks for helping me test. This is how technology works, right? If we don't test it, we don't figure out how it works. It's just like running. You don't know if you can run a 10-minute mile until you get your butt out there and try. And that's how we learn. That's how we grow. That's how we get stronger. I'm clicking all the buttons until I see different ways to get people in here. Do, 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 do. Sure. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Hi, beautiful. How you doing?
Hi,
We made it
I'm
work.
good. How are you?
I'm good. I didn't realize I muted myself while I was clicking around. So I said, hi, Kari. We're having technical difficulties, but we're going to figure this out. Ooh, as I kick the camera. So I don't know how much of that you heard. Did you go out and come back in? Or have you been in here
Yeah,
the
I
whole time
did.
listening to me ramble? Okay, so that's good. We just gave, oh, she did hear me singing too. Okay. Okay, so for those of you who are watching the replay, hopefully you fast forwarded past the technical difficulties. For those of you who are just joining, I am Coach Sabrina. This is my beautiful friend Val. And as I said in the very beginning, I met Val through the Too Legit Fitness Monday Night Accountability Program. We became friends, and I had the honor of becoming her accountability coach going to every 1 Month marathon. And for those who have been following me for a while, you know that for my coaching, I offer 3 different tiers, but the intro level tier is if you already have an accountability plan that you found on the internet, you have something you're using, but you just need a live person to talk to help you move things around, to help you make sure things actually fit into your life. That is a service that I offer, and Val took me up on that. So we got to know each other really well going into Val's first marathon. And I have a bunch of questions that I'm going to ask today to kind of keep us on task. But I want Val to be able to talk to you from her side. Because as I said before, I always ask my athletes for testimonials, but not everybody is easy with the feedback. So for Val and I, we just decided to have this conversation live. So if she says anything mean about me and I start crying on camera, y'all are going to see it because it's completely there live. But I
There's
want
nothing mean you can say about this person. Nothing. Nothing at all.
that's going to make me cry as it is. But
Oh,
we are going to talk about training from our perspectives as mothers over 40 with multiple children and full-time jobs and lots of responsibilities. Because one of the questions that I always get, even before I became a coach, just as an athlete, was can I really train for X race if I still have a life? I still have a job and I still have things to take care of. And the answer is always yes. We move things around your life. And Val is a testament to that. And hopefully we'll be able to talk about all the pieces of it today because I wrote some very specific questions to ask her to help you guys realize that some of us are not living perfect cookie cutter lives and we still get shit done. So, Val, please introduce yourself to our audiences.
hey everybody. My name is Valerie. I'm a runner. I'm a marathoner. I'm a strength trainer. I'm a mom. I have a full-time job. I am just about done with school. I have one class left.
Nice.
Um, so I'm all the things. And I just, as Coach Sabrina said, I just finished my first ever marathon, and I'm still living on cloud nine for that. Um, but running for me was that was like a dream. That was a dream I still dream every day. I still feel like every time I get to put these sneakers on, it's always a gift.
I love that. Um, so let's start with the good stuff. Every woman's marathon was your first marathon.
Yep.
And we also had the honor of fundraising for All Mothers and going to their events the night before and wearing their gear for the race and being in that community, which for me, I still look at the pictures and it makes me cry. What was your favorite part of the marathon?
The community. I tell people this all the time. If you ever say to yourself, I would love to do a marathon, every woman's marathon is the marathon you should do as a first time marathon. Because, first of all, if you don't cry during any portion of this marathon, and not like a I'm in pain cry, but like the community, the women, the solidarity, just the to see women get out there and really support each other and how you're supported as an athlete. Um, it's the best race I could ever say as a first time marathoner. I couldn't do any other race. Like if I do no other marathons, that's the one. Second to that is seeing um the organization that for all mothers, how supportive they were. Um all the goodies they gave, all the, let's go out there and just have fun. I mean, you saw mothers, you saw women bring their children to the dinner, their spouses, their or significant others, and you were like, this is what running is. This is what it should be. That was
Absolutely.
my favorite. Yeah, for sure.
What surprised you the most about your own personal performance?
Um, people, you hear people say, yeah, I can do anything. That's a lie. You can do anything that you put your mind to. And the marathon was a testament to that because mile 8, I texted my husband, I think I'm done. I think my knee and I are not agreeing, and I think I'm done. And you really need somebody to tell you some real. And he was like, is it your knee or your pride? And I was like, hold
Wait,
up.
back up for a second. Just for anybody who's tuning in who thinks that maybe her husband needs a pop upside the head, he was there with her that weekend. He was there with us for dinner. He was there with us for the expo, and we ran together, Val and I, and my friend Michelle, up until just after I think mile 4, mile 5. So he
Hmm.
was there. He was there cheering for her. He was there waiting for her. So he was talking some truth to her, but he was there on site putting in work to support her. So let's give him his kudos.
Yeah, I had to give him a lot of like big ups because I was like, wow, if that's not some real truth. And I was like, you know what? He said, if you're done and you're physically not able, he was like, tell your team that. Tell Coach Becky, tell Coach B, tell Sabrina that you're done. And I'll meet you wherever you are to bring you back. And I was like, yikes. I was like, bro, you're the traitor. Like you are in like and then I had to can we curse? Can
Absolutely.
we,
As far as I know,
I had
everybody following
to
me on Instagram is over 18. So, and the baby's in the other room.
um
Let it out. We're talking truth
I had
today.
to and this is courtesy of Shantae Snell. I had to unfuck
Latoya
myself.
Shante Snow. Yep.
I had
She
to
is my
unfuck
hero.
myself.
Yep.
And I was like, um, get going. Like,
Yep.
and you know what the funny thing is that while I was having this conversation with myself about how dare you, like, how dare you take the training, all of the crying and the um just all of it and just throw it away on fear. And I was like, you know what?
You're already
Let me
making
get
me
my
cry.
let me get my ass right and get going.
And you
And the
did.
idea that I would have to tell you, Sabrina, Coach Sabrina, I am done. I felt like I stole from you. I, s- I felt like I stole your time. I
People,
felt
she's
like I
never told me
stole
this. This is live.
your motivation. I felt like I had stolen your friendship, your trust, in me as a person who you were motivating to pound the pavement. I was like, I've stolen from her. If I don't finish this, I am a thief. And I said, you know what? I'm not a thief. I can't do that. And I can't even look at her and be like, hey, I gave up because my knee. And I was like, that's BS. I popped 3 Advils, swallowed those bad boys. I tightened my little bun and I said, let's get going. And along the way, I picked up someone who needed the same motivation that I did. And I was like, listen, I'll go as far as you go. And we got to 26.20,
Absolutely, you did.
you know.
And there's video proof of you and I crying, holding each other at the finish line. And I love that that is in the finish. And when you finished, Latoya Shante Snell, who I absolutely love, and I stopped and danced at mile 18 and dedicated it to her. She was there when you finished because we were there when the very last woman finished, and you finished. And it was amazing. And I can't believe this is the first time that you've told me that. So that's a whole different conversation we're going to have at another time. But you absolutely did. And training for you was not easy. And
No.
before I get to the very specific questions that I want to ask to let people realize how easy it was not, I'm going to ask you a very selfish question because I know I am not the first coach that you have worked with from a distance. So some people have the pleasure of running side by side with their coach or seeing their coach, a couple of times a week or at least weekly in person. You didn't have that option. Even before me, your coach was in San Jose and you are where again?
North Carolina.
That's a few miles apart. Few miles apart. We didn't meet until race weekend. So tell me, what was one thing that you would say to any ladies considering working with a distance coach, working with me from a distance? This is just one specific question.
If you do not have honesty and full line of communication with the person that is training you, then just quit. Just stop. You need to have there needs to be full disclosure, there needs to be full autonomy, transparency. This person that is telling you that they're going to train you, they're putting in the emphasis, the work, they're I mean, you got to have full trust and um they got to see you at your worst, the crying, sometimes I mean, Coach Sabrina knows I have called her from the trail crying, like, I'm done. I'm so done. And to have someone say to you, you're not done. Like, where are we? For her to say to me, what can I do to help support you? It goes so far because, you know, to hear that, that person is really behind you. And I know that some people think, oh, but I need somebody to run with me. I need somebody to listen, that's a physical thing. Running is 80% mental.
Absolutely.
And I mean, I could have 50 people run with me, but if my mental is crap, it don't matter what these 50 people can do for me because I need mental. And Sabrina was my mental. And that's what you need in a good coach.
I love that. And yes, we talked on the trails. We did voice memos back and forth to get you through those runs. We talked before them, and it was my honor to be by there. And I definitely wouldn't have not have thought you were stealing from me if you hadn't finished, but we'll talk about that later. So we're going to talk about reality and one of the reasons why you and I wanted to have this conversation together. And so before we finally got you on here, I was talking about Run, Walk, Run and Jeff Galloway, who recently passed away, but he popularized Run, Walk, Run as a legitimate strategy that runners could use to help them get through distances without the shame and the ridicule that people, real runners want to give to those of us who have to walk. Because as I was saying, I have always been a run walker, but I didn't know it was a thing. I didn't know that there was a strategy to actually scheduling out your intervals to give your body time to adjust. And as Val said, to mentally know, I only need to survive these 2 minutes and then I get to walk. And then I'll run again and then I get to walk. So that's a strategy that we use to get through races to help our bodies, because not all of our bodies are designed or at a place where we can run for 3 miles, 5 miles, 10 miles without walking in between. So that is a strategy that we used in training and that we used at the race. So one of the reasons that we need these strategies is because, as I said, we are moms, we have jobs. So I need to get through these 3 questions without you laughing and hanging up on me, okay? And then once I say these 3 questions, you can answer them. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Do you get to take days and weeks off from your day job and your responsibilities to train? Do you have household help that comes in to take care of the cooking, cleaning, and responsibilities so you can train? And do you have perfectly cared for sidewalks, parks, and a track near you to train on?
So the first question is no. I am a full-time employee. I'm in office and sometimes 3 days a week, 2 days from home, mainly 5 days in. I also work a weekend job every other weekend in an emergency room. So you damn sure can't do that from home. And the second question is no, I don't have anyone who can come in here and uh, do all the things that I need to have done so that I can come home and enjoy the comforts of my home after a long day of work. I do rely on a system with my older children. I don't have young babies anymore, and I do rely on, dishes being done and so forth. But I still cook at least 5 or 6 days a week, and you know, I still take care of my husband's needs as well in the morning. I get his breakfast done. I get my breakfast done. I pack his lunch. I pack my lunch. Because we don't buy food outside here. And I work. And and then to the third question, this is North Carolina. If you have never been to North Carolina, there are no sidewalks. Okay. In any neighborhood, you might get lucky if there's a sidewalk, but there are no sidewalks. If I run on a outside of my community, it's a two lane, cars coming in every direction. I have to purposely drive 20 miles to the nearest paved trail. So there's a lot of effort that comes into play. Like I have to mentally say to myself, you need to do 15 miles. Where are you going to do these miles? And clearly, I'm not going to do a mile loop in my neighborhood for 15 times without driving myself crazy. So yeah, I have to make the effort, right?
Mm-hmm.
And winter months, it's darker faster, so I have to ask myself, what do I do then? I have a treadmill. I'm not a fan of the treadmill, but I will indulge because I'm home, so I don't have to go far. But it takes a lot of effort to put my laces on, tie my laces, get my shoes on, and get, you know, and pound pavement because I have to look for it. So it's not as easy, but the commitment is there. So to stay committed to myself and not to steal from my coach, I gotta I gotta hit it. I gotta hit it.
The commitment is there, and your commitment to yourself to show up is there, and that is what I saw, and that's one of the things that I admired so much about you, because people, when she's telling you, oh, I have a treadmill at home, so if I don't want to go outside and run on the highway with the tractors and the cars running by me, I'll just get on the treadmill. No, she can't always, because what happens in a storm, Val, when you're on the treadmill?
Sometimes we lose power. Welcome to the country because I live in the country.
So imagine you psych yourself up for that
Yeah.
10-mile run on the treadmill. You put all that mental prep in, you get down there, you're 2 miles in, and the freaking power goes out. The mental training that she put in to get to marathon, people, I'm telling you, the mental part, everything that she had to do to get these miles and to get her safely to this start line, this woman is a powerhouse. There's a reason why I needed her to talk to you guys today. And we need to remind you and to remind her that we can show up. And the road does not always look pretty for us. And it's not always nice.
Mm-mm.
And it's certainly not easy. For most of the women that I work with, most of the women that I know in this life, let's just be completely honest, the road has not been easy.
No.
But we're still showing up and we're still doing it. So, you and I appeal to a very similar community of curvy, slower women runners who want to get moving more and feel safe and supported in what we do. If you could talk to a room filled with those women right now, what is one message you would want them to hear you say?
Your mental is everything. Um, my mental drives everything about me. It drives how I wake up in the morning and I show up for myself. It drives what commitments I make to myself. It drives what kind of a person I'm going to be to myself, right? Because if I'm a jerk to myself, I'm going to be a jerk to almost everyone. And I work with the public. So, your mental space, protect your mental space. Because if you're not good mentally, you're good to no one. You're not, your whole day is ruined. So I practice every moment, I woke up today, the rest is pie. The hardest thing to have done, I did, and I woke up. And I am so grateful for that every day because I get another day, another chance to undo what I did yesterday or how I didn't do it yesterday. I get a chance to do it over. I protect my mental space at every time. Mental is everything. It
I
dictates
love that.
everything. So if I could say one thing to you is protect your mental space, protect your peace, protect, because that's what drives you to being the person that you strive to be every day.
I love that. I love that. And for us here, specifically in San Jose, we have a lot of run groups. Ikari is still watching live. A lot of people have tuned in. So we have Too Legit Fitness. We have Bay Area Run Crew. We now have Sunnyvale Rumble Run Club on Wednesday nights. Forever Forward is in Union City. We have a lot of run groups around here that we take advantage of that we know all paces are welcome. There is somebody who will be there with you to run, to walk, to help you fit in and have fun. Val doesn't have that where she is, but
Nope.
she still shows up. And Val, talk to us a little bit about what you're doing for yourself to show up at races, to try and find run groups and try and help other people join this large running community.
What I've found is that running, I think, is one of the least or the most underused or uh a lot of people think
Underutilized.
that a lot of people think running is, man, I'm out here doing a mile in 7 minutes. First of all, that's a damn lie. Okay. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Not for a beginner.
Um,
That ain't happening.
and and I tell people all the time, and this is how I was able to help my husband get into running. Because when I first met him, he was like, "Listen, I don't do the running thing. I got a knee problem. I don't do any of that. But if you want to lift some weights, great." And I was like, anybody can run, right? It's just where your heart is. And I think if if I ran with Coach Sabrina, and the first thing she said to me was, "The first 7 minutes, we're gonna do an 8 minute mile pace." The first thing I'm gonna tell you is, you can go ahead and go by yourself. I'll catch up to you wherever the stopping point is. Everybody has a starting point, and when you can encourage people to say, "Hey, this is our starting point," right? And I tell anyone, if you run with me and it's your first time and you want to get into whatever, hey, it's your pace, right? We're doing your pace.
Absolutely.
I'm not my pace. We're going to do your pace. And most people are like, no, I'm not, I don't want to take away from your time. I was like, who got a clock? Who's out here with a clock? I don't see anybody. Don't worry about any of that. We're here because if I can get you to run where you're comfortable, I know you'll come back. And the reason why most people don't come back is because, and this is why a lot of people don't come back to run clubs, is because they say all paces. And everybody is like, oh my God, I have a 9 minute. My Strava says I'm 7 minutes. And I'm like, my Strava says everybody go to hell. Sorry. Like, be for real. There's some people who want to be out there, who want to do well, who want to enjoy. There's some people who want the community, but let's be really there for everyone. And until I can find a community that wants to include everybody, then I'm just gonna be on my own little, you know, my own little way, chugging along, you know. And anybody who says to me, "Oh, I wish I could be a runner," that's the worst thing you could say to me. Because I listen, how much time you got? Because we could talk. And right now, my daughter-in-law is like, "I'm ready to do a race with you," and
Oh,
I just, where do we start? And I love that.
I love that.
I
That's so
love that
awesome.
she's like, I want to be committed. Now, my husband's taking some time off, but he was never a runner. And I remember I took him to a run. I was doing a 5K, and he was like, "Okay, so the energy really got me going."
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "I want to try. I want to try one. Sign me up."
Yes.
Signed him up for his first 5K. He was like, "Okay, I got this."
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for like 3 years straight, he was like in it. And even through COVID, like we didn't have a gym. I mean, I have weights everywhere in here, and we were at parks lifting weights, running, doing all the things.
Mm-hmm.
And he has slowed down tremendously because of his job, but I'm looking forward to there's some changes coming to his schedule, and we're gonna be able to do those things again together. So I'm looking forward to that. But to have one person just say to me, "All right, I'm convinced. Let's go."
Yeah.
I'm in it. Like, and I tell people it's never about me. This is about you. I want to see you come back. And if the only way to get you to come back is what pace are you comfortable with, then that's what it is. And that's what a good coach does. It's no, forget it. It's not about me. It's about you. This race is about you. So what can I do to best support you on making sure that you come back? Or at the very least that you talk to me tomorrow. You know?
And it's the pay it forward mentality, right? Because all of us, most I can't say all of us because I'm sure some of you had some amazing experiences at your very first run club. If you are an average 12-minute mile runner and you showed up at a run club that was designed to welcome you, maybe you had a very amazing first experience. But for a lot of us, we didn't have that amazing first experience, and so we are dedicated to making sure that other people do, that other people show up and they feel welcome and they feel special and they feel like they belong and they don't feel like they have to prove themselves or justify anything. And I remember, I remind everybody, there is no such thing as a slow or a fast runner. My watch nowhere has a time that says slow. You have slower days, you have faster days, but there's no such thing as a slow runner. There's no such thing as a slow pace. It's time. So whether you run a 6 minute mile or you run a 16-minute mile, you deserve to be there. And we are working more and more with races and more with run groups to make sure that everybody feels like they deserve to be there. Because there are still races out there who are not as accommodating for all paces. And that is their choice. That is where they choose to put their money and their heart. And there's nothing we can do about that. But we're going to keep highlighting the ones that do and the ones that make everybody feel more welcome. And if there's a weekend where there's a race that doesn't make you feel welcome, hey, guess what? I host free events all the time. Too Legit does free workouts and free stuff all the time because we want everybody to be able to move in the way that helps their body and makes them feel good and to build the community because life is not grand all the time and we all deserve community. You deserve love, you deserve encouragement, and you deserve support. And we're going to keep building that from San Jose to North Carolina to make sure that you feel
And guess what? You get the same medal, the same bib, and the
it.
same shirt as the person who ran a 10-minute mile. So suck on that.
Absolutely.
Same
What
exact
are
shirt.
same exact shirt. My shirt, this is from Warp Tour, doesn't have a face on it. What are you most excited for right now? What's coming up for you in the next couple of months? What are you looking forward to?
So, well, I'm looking forward to the fact that my husband wants to get back into it. I have a couple of races on the horizon, just some 5Ks that I want to sign up for. I have not had a race since the marathon. Um, I am just now signing up for a sprint triathlon with it's here, it's local. It's a 250-meter swim, uh, a 12-mile bike ride, and a 2-mile run. And
Absolutely awesome.
prior to really doing like the running stuff, I was also interested in being a half Ironman contestant.
Okay.
And it was never, I never kind of followed through because it takes, for me to get into a pool is kind of, there has to be some effort made,
Okay.
just because of where I am. But the job that I am starting next Monday, they have these centers, these wellness centers. And so you can pay to join the wellness center, obviously, but they have an indoor pool. And I used to be a part of this wellness center a few years back,
Okay.
and I stopped going. Just it's a little out of the way for me, but I really want to try to get this. The hardest part, believe it or not, of this sprint triathlon is going to be the 250-meter swim.
Okay.
Um, I think it's 10 times in this pool, and
Okay.
so I want to focus on that. I own two bikes, so I've ridden before. It's it used to be what I would do on my I guess on my rest days. I would ride maybe like 30 miles or so. Um,
Okay, wait,
and
stop right there. Okay, so one thing we're gonna go back because on the replay, I know the comments aren't gonna show up, and so Val said whether you ran that 7 minute mile or you ran that 16 minute mile, you get the same medal, get the same shirt. And Kari said in the comments, and you ran the same distance. Y'all just ran it faster than we did. We're working harder.
that's
People are out
it.
there longer in the heat, and sometimes they run out of water, but that's a whole different podcast. Anyway, so we're gonna get that into the playback because that's not going to show in the recording. So we need to make sure that Kari's comment got in there so that you guys remember we're all running the same distance. We all cross the same start line, the same finish line, no matter what pace you're running. Then we're going to fast forward. So, y'all, we were talking before about when Val has to train, she has to go because she doesn't have sidewalks. She has to put in effort to find some place to run that's safe for her. And if she runs the treadmill, the power goes out. She has all these things. But did you just hear what she just said? She just said on her rest days, which, as her coach, we also call her cross training days, she would ride 30 miles for fun. 30, 30. Who rides 30 miles for fun? I don't even drive my car 30 miles for fun. Okay, so anyway, back to your sprint try. So,
But it was just the idea that you could be like in where I would ride any day, any given day, a deer would cross you. Um, you'd obviously run over a snake or two. Squirrels everywhere, and it was just like, I get to do this. I get to willingly get on a bike, put my ass on this saddle that I know I'm going to complain about for like the first 5 miles. And I get to have like bees coming in my direction, but I get to do this. And
yes.
I'm healthy enough where I can, and then get off the bike. And then the next day be like, yep, let me get a couple of miles
Mm-hmm.
of running. And
So,
then the next day, lift, lift the weights. And
yes.
so that
So
was my
real quick, wait,
comfort.
real quick before you move forward. Kari said in the comments, your 30-minute ride is the equivalent to a 10-mile run, which is most the math that most people do, especially when you're cross training. So tell me, Val, do you run 10 miles for fun?
No.
Okay, okay, continue. But you do lift weights for fun, and I don't think we talked about that. You do enjoy lifting weights. And we
Very
know
much.
as women, especially as we're aging, it is very important to lift heavy shit and build our longevity. So talk a little bit before I let you go because I want to respect everybody's time, but do talk a little bit about that because you do lift for fun. I mean, you're sitting on your I can only see half your face because I have all the comments in front of you, but I mean, you are sitting in your weight room, you have weights everywhere. Talk a little bit about that.
The strength training for me was just I want to be strong. You always hear people talk about, oh, I work out because I want to lose weight. No, I want to be able to look like I can kick your ass at any given time. I want to be able to know that if something happens, my husband gets sick and I got to throw him over my shoulder, that I can lift that ass over my shoulder and get him to where he needs to go.
Yep.
That to me is strength. And the difference between, me and another person my age who doesn't strength train is I fell one day down a hill. I bounced off of this hill, got right back up and kept going. No hip pain, no leg pain, no bum pain because I landed on my ass. None of that. And that's what strength training does. It covers you in a way that makes you know that if something happens, that I'm okay. I have the body to support and sustain. And I want to be
Absolutely.
able to drop down to the ground, as my children get older and I become a grandma, I want to be able to drop to the ground, pick the kids up, get back up. I don't need nobody to be like, ma'am, can I carry your bags? No, damn it, I can carry my own bags. I got this. Like, and that's strength training for me. Strength is beautiful.
Yes, Emma, I've seen sweatshirts like that and I want one too. I'm not looking to be skinny. I want to look like I can kick your ass. And I say
Period.
strong, not skinny, because skinny is overrated. Skinny is out of fashion. Strong is what we're here for, especially as aging women who want to take care of our families, inspire our children, inspire our community. Strong, not skinny. We want to be strong, and Val could kick your ass. And Val's not much taller than me. If you saw the picture that I put in the ad to show this, we are both tiny, but most of my life I've been told that I look scary, so I just have the scary resting bitch face to. I just need the muscles to go with it because we're doing this. Um, okay, my love, I could talk to you all day, but I'm not going to keep you
I
here forever.
know, me too. I miss you so
What
much.
else? I miss you, and I can't wait to see you and hug you in real life again. But what else do you want to be able to say today?
A run is no more than 2 feet moving one behind the other. That's the difference between that and a walk. It's just faster than a walk. Don't let anyone's ideas of how fast you should be going determine whether or not you're a runner. If you run, damn it, you're a runner. That's how that works. If you get up and you make the decision that I'm going to run today, you're a runner. You're an athlete. You did a 5K, you do 5Ks, you do 10K, you're an athlete. Don't let anyone steal that from you. Comparison is a thief of joy. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Your 5K is not going to be my 5K, it's not going to be Sabrina's 5K, it's yours. Own your pace because it's yours. It's your race, it's your pace. The hell with everybody else and enjoy it. If you can enjoy it, you will sustain longer. Come to North Carolina in June. Help me run during the humidity. I'm here for it.
Field trip. We're all going to North Carolina to run over the snakes and to go in the humidity.
That part, okay? That part. Yeah, it's real. It's real here.
Okay. I do have one more question. So if anybody listened to my podcast interview from Stephanie at Runners Roundtable, one of the questions that she got me with when she interviewed me, and I've been listening all this season, that she keeps asking other people, actually, or we're going to steal two of her questions. So the first question is, if you could go back and say something to your younger running self, or we'll pivot and say, if you were talking to somebody who is right now the age and the woman that you were when you first started running, what is something that you would like to say to her, or that you wish somebody said to you?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
Yes, you
Same.
can.
Same.
Don't
And the
ask
last,
don't ask for permission. Ask for forgiveness after the fact. Yes, you can.
maybe you don't even always have to ask for forgiveness. Okay, and the second one, how do you celebrate yourself as a runner?
The fact that I did it, right? I say to myself, damn, you did that. It's a mile, 2 miles, seven. You did that. Girl, you did that. And I have a playlist and I play the hell out of this playlist. It runs on repeat. I did that. I did that. Not nobody else. I didn't take a scooter. I didn't do I didn't hop there. I did that. Me. And I celebrate me. And sometimes it involves a little glass of wine. Sometimes it involves a really nice double cheeseburger. Um, and sometimes it just involves sitting down and taking it all in and just saying, I did that. I did that.
I love that.
And I love that. I love that for me.
I love that for you. I love that for you, and I'm gonna steal that because I don't celebrate myself enough. I love you. I thank you for
I
this.
love you. I love you,
Um,
Kari.
Emma says, "Are you going to run every women's marathon again?"
Hell yeah.
And she says, "I mean, if Sabrina made me drink the Kool-Aid, everyone should."
She ain't even have to. As soon as I saw it, I said, I'm all in. And I'm trying to get the husband to run it too.
Same, same. So, I need all the athletes to come to us there too, and I'm trying to take my partner with me because I love New Orleans. I used to go there when I was in the direct sales business, and I've been trying to take my partner there for the we've been together 13 years, so I've known him for 14 years. I've been trying to take him there, and so I just think it is so amazing. And yes, I make some really good Kool-Aid, and Kari is in it, and Val is in it, and Emma is in it, and I just keep spreading this Kool-Aid because here's the thing, ladies. If you didn't get the gist from this interview and everything that we have been putting out there, we want you to remember you're not alone. And on the really hard days, a lot of us feel alone. And the thing, it's just coincidence that right now you have Emma, you have Kari, you have me, and you have Val. And one of the things that we have in common is we average over a 12-minute mile for a long distance run. But you know what? We have a lot of fun. We have a lot of pretty smiles, and we keep showing up for ourselves because on your good day, you could run a 9-minute mile. If you did only that, you had completely exhausted yourself and passed the freak out on the couch for the next 3 days after. You probably could. But on the long distance run, you're going to slow down. And the thing that the four women who happen to be on here live right now have in common is we don't run what other people think runners who have been running for years should be able to run, but we run and we show up and we show up for ourselves. And every single one of these women here will show up for you in a heartbeat. All you have to do is ask. And
Damn right.
that's why Val and I wanted to be here today to talk to you, whether we know you, whether you're close, whether you're far, whether you're a stranger and you've never even seen either one of us, but this happens to show up on your feed and the replay or on YouTube when I put it up there. You're not alone. There's somebody out there who will walk beside you, who will run beside you, who maybe will run behind you because once you start training, you get a little bit faster. But we're going to make sure you get to that start line and you get to that finish line and you're not alone. And that's all we want you to remember. You're not alone. We love you and we're here for you. Anything else?
No, and don't be afraid to ugly cry. I ugly cry all the time. Ugly cry is, you need it. I ugly cried the hell out of crossing that marathon. That finish line, I was so ugly crying. Desmond must have thought I was crazy.
Yes, that's why they put it on video. It's in the Every Woman's video. Every Woman's Marathon video is you ugly crying because you're beautiful. And Kari, no, there is not a Positive Results Village team for Every Woman's Marathon yet because I have not been able to register. But if you register, please create a team for us. I think there's a Too Legit team. So join the Too Legit team and we will all be there together.
Yeah,
Um,
Coach Becky has a two
yeah,
legit team.
there's absolutely a Too Legit team. I For All Mothers has not confirmed yet if they are going to get charity bibs. So if For All Mothers has charity bibs again, I will absolutely run for them because I will fundraise for them every chance I get. If your local Sunnyvale Rumble Run Club is celebrating our 1-year anniversary the first Wednesday in May, and I'm hoping to also be able to turn that into a For All Mothers fundraiser because they're doing special things the whole first week of May leading up to Mother's Day. So that is just me on the personal side and on the coaching side. Make
She
sure
is
you're following.
beautiful is weekend of Mother's Day. Who's anyone going? Anybody running?
Absolutely, I'll be there. Will you be there? Will you be there? Will you be there? Yes!
I sure
Oh my God.
will. I
Oh my,
registered as soon as it opened.
I know, but I wasn't sure. I wanted to confirm this cost. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Okay. I love you all. Please make sure you're following at Coach Sabrina L. Make sure you're following Val, if you would like them to follow you, because you're going to be tagged in this in the replay. Emma, I will see you there for our special Mother's Day race too. She is beautiful, y'all. I'm about to cry because I get to hug Val again Mother's Day weekend. I have to go because my kids are texting me, so I'm pretty sure that the 3-year-old has probably tied up the 19-year-old by now. So have an amazing day, everybody. Have an amazing weekend. Get
Bye,
outside and
everybody.
walk. If you're not a runner, go outside and walk 5 minutes. You can do it, even if it's snowing. I've seen the videos. Get out there, walk, move your butt. Bye.
Love you.
Love you.